Hello and welcome to the channel. If you haven't done so already, make sure to like and subscribe. And for all the new subscribers, welcome to the channel. I hope you're enjoying the content. So we're going straight into the article. New York passes country's biggest fine for loud exhaust. Now, let's go ahead and read the article and then I will tell you my thoughts, which is, I feel like this is just hustle and for them to tax people or fine people more money, but it is what it is. Exhaust note fanatics like myself, I love loud exhaust. I always put that's like the first mod that I always do on my vehicles. That and window tint. Window tint usually first, and then the exhaust comes right after. Uh, okay, so exhaust note fanatics of New York, beware. There's a chance that a hefty fine is waiting for you thanks to a new law passed by New York Governor Kathy Hochul. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Hochul. Owners of cars with excessively loud could face a $1,000 fine. This new fine is the highest in the country and part of a new push to reduce illegal racing in New York State. I call BS because not everybody that has exhaust or has loud exhaust is going out there trying to race people. Um, Obviously, there's for me, I love loud exhaust because it brings out the whole sound of the car and makes the car sound more alive. Especially if you have a nice motor that has a very specific sound. Like I really love the sound of the GT350. I love that exhaust note, like the V8. Oh man, it sounds amazing. Just like the Subarus, like with the whole what is it with the rumble. Oh man, when you have an exhaust, it sounds amazing. It's so tempting. Like the car tempts you to push the throttle even more, especially when you have the exhaust on, because it's like, yeah, yeah, come on, give me more power, give me more gas, so we can stop at the gas station and fuel you up because we're gonna run out of gas because we've been smashing on it. Anyway, this new exhaust fine is part of New York's new sleep bill, which stands for Stop Loud and Excessive Exhaust Pollution. The only time you're gonna have um, exhaust pollution is if they take out the Cadillac converter, so it's not getting filtered or whatever. But for me, on my car, I still have at least the main Cadillac converter in the vehicle, but the one that's connected to the where you have your exhaust and then you have your downpipe. Well, some cars don't have it, but anyway, my downpipe where the other Cadillac converter is, that one is taken off. So I have a I have something else there, kind of like a test pipe or whatever. But I don't think I would pass emission. I mean, it's not throwing any codes, so technically I can pass emissions. But all this is, I mean, if you replace all your piping and you're just going straight piping, that's one thing. But if you just have an exhaust and everything else is still there, it should be fine, especially since you can still pass emissions. So for me, I just feel this new bill is to just make more money to hit up New Yorkers for more money. That's what it is. Let's be real. This new bill increased fines for loud aftermarket exhaust from 150 to the wallet, crushing the $1,000 mark from 150 to $1,000. Whew. The bills may have a catchy acronym, but what does it mean for a car enthusiast with loud cars? Because another thing also, like, I think I said that before, aftermarket, when it comes to vehicles, sometimes the manufacturer themselves make certain cars very loud. You may think that they have an aftermarket exhaust, but they really don't. Like the Lamborghinis, some of those are really extremely loud, but they're just factory. That's how they come from factory. Just like the GT350, those that one you can actually change different exhaust notes if you want it loud or if you want to open it all the way up or whatever. You can open it up and it's loud as hell. And I like it because it sounds amazing. That V8, love the sound of that V8. The goal of this new law focuses on cutting down on illegal street racing. I call bullshit. The New York government explained that illegal racing increased. I think that's just a like they're using street racing as an excuse for them to, essentially charge New Yorkers more money for loud exhaust. This is just another one of those. Like another example would be like blaming video games for gun violence, which it has been proven that it has nothing to do with video games. That's the same thing here. You're blaming street racing in order for them to tax you on and having loud exhaust. I mean, maybe there's something there, if but to me it just seems like this is just an excuse for them to ream you, and it sucks. Sorry. We had the same thing happen here in California, but it actually got reversed. It was actually in a legislate. Let me see if I can pull it up. A legislation that was passed for loud exhaust in California, and then that one actually got pulled back. Give me one second. Okay, maybe it didn't, but this is California's version. Penalties for illegal exhaust depend on the you couldn't have like one of those modified exhausts, like if you kind of like cut it a certain way or whatever, then that's considered illegal. But if you bought an aftermarket one, I think it was fine from what I've read, and I think I've actually covered um that article on the video. Penalties for illegal exhaust depend on type of exhaust modification and your location. Minimum fine for the first conviction is a minimum $50, maximum $100 with a total fine of $193. Fines can climb up to $1,105 in some cases for second and subsequent violations. Fine is $100 to $250. But yeah, we have the same thing. But if you like illegally um, modded your exhaust, your aftermarket exhaust, or if you cut it or some, I don't know. But yeah, illegally modified. But if you bought it aftermarket, I think it's fine because the aftermarket community, people that actually made exhaust, made a whole stink about it, and yeah, it was a whole big thing here. But now they're going through it in New York. Hopefully, they can do something about it, and they're trying to blame street racing for an excuse to charge you more money. But yeah, anyway, it's also no secret that your loud car isn't loved by local neighbors who would happily support a law that forces you to quiet things down. To cut off the supply of loud aftermarket exhaust, any shop caught installing illegal mufflers has three strikes and you're out, a policy with the state having the ability to pull a shop's license to operate. This harsh stance on loud car exhaust isn't welcomed news for those who enjoy modifying their cars. It seems that moving forward, a more conservative approach is required for those who would prefer to straight pipe their Honda Civics and hit the highway for a friendly drag race. Yeah, if you have a straight pipe, then that shit's gonna be loud as hell. But if you just have a basic exhaust and it's not that loud, it's fine. But the law doesn't really specify whether. I think for New York it's just both. Whether you have an illegal modified exhaust or if it's an aftermarket exhaust. In California, it's only if it's a illegally modified exhaust that can get you fined. But if it's aftermarket, I think that should be fine because you can actually sell aftermarket exhaust in California. Because what's the point of them selling you a product yet you can't have it or use it? This makes absolutely no sense at all. So why would aftermarket be able to sell you an exhaust, but you're getting fined for it or getting pulled over because it's too fucking loud? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. I cannot comprehend. I do not understand. Why? But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And you have yourself a very happy Halloween. Be careful out there. It's dangerous. Crazy people. Loonies.